Hello. Welcome to another episode of Pre-Workout Chat. This should be part two of the pre-workout chat that I released earlier. Today is Sunday, September 1st, 2024. And in this episode, I just wanted to go over some minor tweaks that I'm making to my program. So, when I originally, started this, new weight loss journey, I've been through so many of them now. It's been quite a long time. When I went through this journey, the original intention was to lose weight. I've been through some ups, downs, and side to side, and eventually, I was gonna quit. I was gonna quit it all, but then I, fell in love with the idea of hypertrophy training. I watched some Sam Sulek videos, and I kind of learned to rethink training. You know what I'm saying? When he does his training, he does it from the perspective of, he has a goal. He wants to work out a certain body part, and he just arbitrarily just picks exercises that will stimulate that body part. Of course, he progressively overloads, but he's picking the exercise based off of how he feels and what he enjoys. And so, when I tried that type of training, I just created a plan, picked out some exercise that I liked, whittled them down depending on as I experienced them, and figured out, oh, this is junk volume. So I kind of picked and pulled. But in doing so, in changing the plan, in doing the stuff that I actually enjoy doing when working out, I just discovered the love of hypertrophy training. And so for the last few months, that's what I've been doing. Now, in my prior video, it was like a reaction to a video released by Coach Greg Desai, where he was judging, whether we should call Sam Sulek a bodybuilder. And of course, I agreed with Coach Greg. I believe titles are important. I do not think Sam Sulek is a bodybuilder. He's most certainly isn't a fitness influencer because of the videos and the content that he released. As he's lifting weights, tracking his fitness journey and stuff like that, and showing how he's been progressively building his muscle and stuff like that. So he most definitely is a fitness influencer. He has an awesome physique. He really puts in the hard work, and so I do respect him for what he had, the effort that he has put into his fitness. But of course, I don't think that he's a bodybuilder because he hasn't really competed on stage. Like most of you would not call me a bodybuilder, even though I've been kind of like technically speaking, I've been training since I was 15 and I've been lifting weights since I was 15. I just been in and out of the gym, and really haven't made any progress, But you wouldn't call me a bodybuilder, so I think that's why in the conclusion in that video, I kind of felt like he's not a bodybuilder, but he's still awesome. He's a fitness enthusiast, and technically, that's what I am right now. I'm a fitness enthusiast. So, with that being said, excuse me. With that being said, when I first started this journey, trying to lose some weight, fell in love with the whole hypertrophy thing, and the hypertrophy thing kind of just took off, and that's really what I was doing. I went through radical changes with my diets. I started with a carnivore type diet. Then I went back to a more balanced diet. Then I kind of like upped the carbs recently, and because of budget issues, so I really couldn't buy the amount of meat that I wanted, and so I kind of like substituted it with carbs, and so yeah, and of course as I'm increasing my carbs, the weight was kind of like going up a little bit, and so I weighed myself today, and I was actually kind of horrified when I looked at the scale. Like I saw my weight at 373, and so I'm kind of looking at it, and I'm going like, hey, I really do need to dial back. So I'm not really making too much changes to my program. It's relatively going to stay the same, but let's look at the actual program so we can understand what it is that I'm going to be doing. So, the biggest change that I am going to be doing is, of course, going to be the diet. So, I am going to reduce the diet down to about 1,700 calories. Um, what's going on is I am now for about 4 months. Um, for about 4 months, I would say from September 2nd, which is tomorrow, until January 6th, I am going to be just focusing on the weight loss. Of course, because this is basically going to create a not the ideal environment for hypertrophy. I'm not really going to be gaining muscles like that, though I will still be training. I will still be progressively overloading, albeit at a more slower rate than what I was used to over these last 2.5 months. Um, but it is what it is. I have to get rid of the weight. I've talked to family and friends, and a lot of people really did put out there. I was making an attempt, but what ended up happening was, like, as I was exercising and stuff like that, I would kind of wing it a little bit sometimes when it came to the diet. I would go like, what, I'm not recovering fast enough, so I would like maybe eat a few extra eggs here and there. Um, I was adding like extra stuff to my food. It's a little bit extra cream cheese here and there, a little bit of extra salsa. You know what I'm saying? And so, what it ended up doing was I just ended up just slowly kind of gaining weight, just mostly water, because of the changes with the carbs. But regardless, I see the scale going up, and the scale was already going up ever since I started the hypertrophy training. And again, the weight went up, but also so did my muscle mass, so did my strength. I'm pushing a lot more heavier weights than I was before, and that's cool and all. But I started noticing that as this weight's been increasing, my cardiovascular has been going down because I haven't really been doing enough cardio. Again, for me, I really hate doing the cardio, and lifting weights is more fun for me. So I typically I'll end up skipping the cardio, and so I'm just going to admit that to you guys. I've been skipping the cardio a lot, and because I've been skipping the cardio a lot, I have not created a big enough caloric deficit, and so that's one of the reasons why the weight was going up. Had I did the cardio, I'm pretty sure the weight would have slowly but truly have kept on going down, but that wasn't the case because I was being lazy and I was being, stubborn, and I wasn't doing what I was supposed to do. So that is 100% on me. It has nothing to do with any external environmental issues like budgets or anything like that. That was just me being an idiot and being lazy. So I am challenging myself, and I am dedicating the next 4 months to weight loss. Again, I will still progressively overload. It's just going to be at a way slower rate. So maybe instead of increasing the weight every week, I'll probably just increase the weight like every other week or something like that. Again, I'm consuming less protein. I'm consuming less calories, and these two alone is not going to be an ideal environment. Excuse me, it's not going to be an ideal environment for hypertrophy. It's not even going to be an ideal environment for gaining, basically just maintaining the weight and just gaining muscle over time without like necessarily increasing the weight. This is what Coach Greg does. So it's really going to be kind of out of that realm, and it's going to suck. I'm not going to lie. But it's just something that I have to do. I need to just do a harder cut for about 4 months, right? Yeah, you got September, October, November, December. Yeah, so about 4 months. 4 months hard cutting. So that means my focus is going to be more on cardio and the diet, and it's going to be less focused on hypertrophy training. And so, really, the hypertrophy training is only going to be to maintain the muscle. So that's kind of going to be my mentality going forward. So again, the weightlifting goal is maintain what I got, and maybe slowly add muscle over time. So right now, I would say that I'm gaining about 0.23 pounds of muscle a week. Obviously, I'm not going to be gaining 0.23. I'll be lucky, honestly, if I gain zero point 0.1 or 0.05 pounds of muscle every week. So again, I'm not going to be really building that much muscle, but I just keep this here for calculation purposes. Uh, Now to in fact, let's go a little bit more into the diet. So I'm going to be reducing the carbs a little bit more. For example, it'll be I'll be consuming like half a pound of ground beef and like 3 cups of spinach. I'm basically getting rid of the rice. Um, Before I was eating like a egg breakfast burrito, but I'm decided to just go ahead and get rid of that because I was going a little bit too crazy with the egg breakfast burritos. The wraps had too much carbs in it, to be honest with you, and I was just basically having like 2 or 3 of those instead of just like one. So it was a little, I enjoyed it a little bit too much, and I overindulged. So again, I'm just coming clean. I'm just being honest with you guys. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm replacing that with a protein oatmeal. So I made a video where I showed you guys an experiment that I did. Essentially, I love cereal, and I kind of got an idea where I would take the harder than last time fruity pebble cereal protein powder, um, and combine that with oatmeal. Add some soy milk and some water. Put in a jar overnight, basically overnight oats with a fruity cereal flavor to it that's packed with protein. And it actually turned it out pretty good. It actually hit the spot a lot. Um, but I could control myself a lot more when I'm eating the oatmeal compared to eating the breakfast burritos. Again, I was going a little bit overboard. I was uh, usually I was supposed to have like I think 3 or 4 eggs, and what I was end up doing was using 6 eggs. And instead of using just one wrap, I was kind of breaking it down into 2 or 3 wraps. Um, so yeah, it didn't work out the way that I wanted it to work out. I overindulged when it came to the breakfast burritos. Now, when it came down to my protein shake, which I try to make it almost close to an actual milkshake. I didn't really overindulge with that one. That one always stayed what it was supposed to, so I don't have to worry about that. My meal where I usually had ground beef, spinach, and rice. I didn't have no problems with that. I only just ate one of those a day. So again, it was the breakfast burrito that I was messing up on, and I did mess up a little bit when it came to my coffee. What I would end up doing is instead of 1 tablespoon of coffee creamer, I would end up putting like 2 or 3 tablespoons of coffee creamer. So the calories was slowly adding up when it came to that. I didn't use 1 tablespoon of honey like I was supposed to. I was using 2 tablespoons of honey, and so it was really almost like I was consuming double my coffee drink. And there were times when I had an extra cup of coffee. My job, we actually just finished moving, so we changed buildings. And so I had to, pack my stuff up. I also had to do a lot of I was rushing and doing a lot of my closing activities. I work as an accountant, so I had to do a lot of stuff ahead of time because of the moving, and so I've been extra. I've been very very busy, and I've been consuming like 2 cups of coffee. Now I was still flavoring everything with honey, but again, it was the creamer itself that was kind of messing up the calories because I was putting too much cream in it, to be honest with you. And again, if at this point I was like consuming like pretty much like 4 tablespoons of honey, you know what I'm saying? Because I was having like two. I would have my main coffee, and then I would have some coffee that I made at work, and I keep honey in my desk, and so I would just add a little bit of honey to it. So essentially, the calories was more than what it was supposed to be. It was supposed to be 2,000 calories. As you guys know, originally I was at like about 2,600 calories. Then I kind of dipped it down to 23, back down to 2,000. And but in reality, because of all that extra sugar and carbs from the creamer, from the honey, from the actual wrap itself, and the additional eggs, I was probably really consuming 26 or 2,800 calories if we're being honest with ourselves. So that's why I'm getting rid of the breakfast burrito. Obviously, my relationship with food has not healed. I'm still in a dangerous territory with food. So I'm going to dial it down a little bit and just consume something that I get a little bit of joy from, like my overnight oats. I get a little bit of joy from it, but not too much. Okay, so it can't be too much. I do get a lot of joy from my protein shake though, but it's controllable though. It's controllable because I have a smaller blender and I can't really load that thing up because I got that like the little Ninja blender. But anyway, so that's what it's going to be. Essentially, my breakfast is just going to be the overnight oats. I'll take my vitamins, and so that's breakfast. Then I'll drink my work coffee, and I just dial down the work coffee a little bit. So just 1 tablespoon of coffee creamer, 1 scoop of collagen, and 1 tablespoon of honey, plus either coffee or tea. And that's what I go with for my work coffee. Uh, for the collagen, I like to use like the BioTrust. They have like this golden milk which has turmeric in it, and so that's what I got a little bit of that right now. So I'm just burning through that, and then I'll probably change it out. Uh, and so yeah, so that's the little snack that I have. That's my work coffee. Then for lunch, I'll have like half a pound of ground beef and 3 cups of spinach. Um, not much more to that. And for dinner, I will have a protein shake, and it's just let me see. For my protein shake, it's just 2 scoops of protein powder, a half a banana, 1 cup of soy milk, and 1 tablespoon of peanut butter. And so that's my protein shake. I do other flavors and other berry combination, but the peanut butter one is the one that has like the highest calories count. So I use that for my calculations. The other ones have like kind of less calories in it, but still as much protein though, just a little bit less carbs. Anyway, so that's going to be the diet. Knocking it down to 1,700 calories, and that's what it's going to be day in and day out. So let's go into like the little forecast model. So that's going to be the diet. What I will do one day of fasting, and so that's going to be Sunday. Sunday is going to be my day of fast. I'm not. I'm just going to be just drinking regular water, or just drinking tea without honey or creamer and stuff like that. Just plain tea. Um, I think for the first few weeks, I may add a little bit of lemon juice to the tea, or I might add like I don't know, like 1 tablespoon of honey. But once I get used to just not eating for a whole 24 hours, um, then it'll just be water. But yeah, I'll just do that. So it'll be one day of fasting every week, and it's going to be Sunday. Sunday is going to be like fasting healing day. Um, Now, pretty much, I'm still sticking to the routine that I made based off of Coach Greg's plan. So I will be lifting weights 6 days a week. And how I do this plan is I do like about 15 minutes of cardio before I do the sets, and then at the end I'll do another 15 minutes of cardio. And when I'm doing my normal exercise, when I do my normal exercise, I burn about 300 to 400 calories. So when you add that with the 15 minutes of cardio in the beginning and the end, it does equal out to about 600 calories. Sometimes I actually don't even need to do the little bit of cardio at the end of the workout, only because I would have burned enough during the workout. But I have that there as a buffer just to make sure that I'm able to hit the 600 calorie burn target for my workouts. And so I work out 6 days a week. I lift weights 6 days a week, and so the legs and calves. Let me see. Okay, just had to correct the dates on here. But anyway, so Monday, Thursday, I'll do like legs and calves. Tuesday, Friday, I'll do back and chest. And Wednesday, Saturday is my finisher. And so this is basically going to be like shoulder, arms, and abs. And that's pretty much what I do. So, I mean, everything is laid out, pretty standard. This compared to some of my other workouts definitely have like way less junk volume. Everything is pretty simple. It's like, for example, my legs and calves, I only do like basically three different exercises. I'll do my warm ups, then I'll do my hard working set. And of course, you see the harder than last time. This basically just represents this is like a bonus set. And this is basically me trying to go to failure. And yeah, lifting as much as I can to failure. That's what the harder than last time is for. So the reps is really suggestive. This is just going to failure. And so this is like the last set. This is like a bonus one. I'll either do it or I won't. It just depends on how I feel at the time. And then you see the back and chest. Same thing like the legs. It's just three different exercises. Bench press, lat pull down, cable rows. And again, I just have my warm-up sets. And then I have my hard working set. And then I have that bonus harder than last time. And then Wednesday, Saturday is the finishing. Like I said, it's going to be like shoulder, arms, and abs. And again, it's just going down. A shoulder press, cable lateral raises, crunches, some oblique crunch, tricep push down, or the overhead press, an easy bar or a straight bar bicep curl, and some face pull down. It's a cable face pulls. And the reason I have these two options is I just try to like kind of even out the muscles that are being hit. And so, one day I'll do a tricep push down, and the other hit day I'll do like an overhead tricep extension, and I just alternate between those two. And same thing with the bicep curls. Like one day I'll do like an easy bar bicep curl, and then another day I'll do like a straight bar, bicep curl. And it just hits the muscles the same way. Just making sure I just keep everything well rounded. Make sure I'm developing, even muscle and strength development. And so yeah, that's the workout. That's the workout. Again, it's not a lot of junk volume compared to what I've done before, and it is what it is. Now, how this is going to work is I'm going to lift weights in the evening. I don't like lifting weights in the morning only because I don't want to be rushed, and I do got to go to work. And the location that I'm going to is a little bit further than where my last job was. So the new building is a little bit further. So I got to make sure that I'm leaving out early. And also, this is not the economy to be, kind of showing up late for work. So I don't want to be late for work, and I don't want to get fired and stuff like that. Definitely not in this economy. So I have to be more mindful. So I don't lift weights in the morning. because I just don't want to. I just don't want to feel rushed. I really like taking my time and enjoying the workout. And so usually I've actually already tried the Coach Greg's routine and stuff like that. Even though mine is modified, uh, I did try this, and on average, it only really took me like 45 minutes to an hour to do the workout, and that's only because of the 3 minute rest in between. But if I really want to go fast, I can go fast, no problem. Um, and I could almost push this down to 30 minutes if I like reduce the resting period. But I really don't want to do that, so that's why I kind of save that for after work. And it's perfect because it de-stresses me even better. So in the morning, what I'll instead do is I'll do like 800 calories of cardio. I just keep it at zone 2 cardio. And so for me, that's between 116 beats per minute up to 135 beats per minute. And I just do that in the morning. And my target for that is about 800 calories. And from my past experience, it takes me about 90 minutes to do that. So again, in the AM, I'm going to do cardio. And in the PM, I'm going to do um, strength training. Now, of course, again, I am on a time crunch, so what I'll try to do is I'll try to wake up like around 5 o'clock or 4:30. Then I'll hit the cardio, um, and if I'm running late, I'll just have to cut the cardio short, and that's going to be. So, will I hit 800 calories during the cardio? It'll depend. So this is going to vary, but it is what it is. So yeah, again, nothing really has changed compared to the last video that I did talking about the changes to my plan. I'm still doing the same exercises. I'm still doing both of these, 3 to 6 days a week. Still doing the cardio in the morning. The biggest change is really the diet. The diet just dropped down by extra 300 calories. Before it was at 2,000. Now it's at 1,700. I just basically got rid of the breakfast burrito and replaced it with the protein overnight oats, and so that's basically what I'm going to be eating. The mindset definitely has changed compared to the last time. The mindset is going to be more focused on maintaining this 1,700 calorie diet, where I do like one day of fasting a week, and it's going to be focused on the cardio. So I'm focusing on the cardio and the calories because that's what I'm going to use to create the biggest caloric deficit to reduce my weight. Now again, if I do everything perfect, as you can see, I will be losing somewhere between 4 to 5.5 pounds every week. To me, that's a lot. I don't really expect to lose about 4. My real goal is to lose about 3 pounds per week. But again, calculations are calculations, and this is based off of absolute perfection. Everything going well. It doesn't factor in like the body retaining water or anything like that. So, I can't really control that. I can just, kind of reduce it a little bit by, increasing like small weight gain from doing, muscle, from doing the hypertrophy training. So yeah, that's the only way I kind of slow it down is by adding like muscle mass gain each week. Otherwise, these numbers will be a little bit higher. But overall, that's great. If I can lose that amount of weight within a week, that's fine. I really don't care. Again, my goal is really to lose about 3 pounds per week. So again, all things being perfect, 373 pounds. By January 6th, 2025, I should be around 290 pounds. That's where I should be at by January 6th. So 290 pounds is the calculated goal. Let's see. If we, was only losing about 3 pounds a week, and we did that for about 18 weeks, That's 54 pounds. 373 minus 54 pounds, so 319. Since my real goal is to lose like 3 pounds a week, getting down to 319 is perfectly fine. So if I could land on by January 6th, if I could land somewhere between 287 pounds to 319 pounds, I consider that a win. That's a W, and I will accept that. So again, anywhere between 287 to 219 is perfectly fine. Considering how I really don't want to lose muscle mass, I'm kind of preferring that I land closer to 319 pounds, because at least that means that I had a less of a caloric deficit, and I lost less of my strength and muscle mass. But we will see. We will see. We will see. Anyway, that's pretty much it. That's the program I'm going to be doing. Again, pretty same like I was already doing. Nothing really have changed except some of the calorie goals. I'm trying to burn more. I'm trying to create as big as a caloric deficit as I can. And really, again, I'm just doing a hard cut for about 4 months. After 4 months, I will, we'll reconvene, and I will decide, how I would like to proceed going forward. Maybe I end up, doing another 4 months of a hard cut. Maybe I decide to just go ahead and focus on the hypertrophy for like about 2 months, and then do another hard cut. I think that's probably the way I am going to end up doing this, only based off of what I kind of accidentally have done now. I did a hard cut. Then I end up doing the hypertrophy training, and the weight went up, and then now I'm doing another hard cut. And so I think for me, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hard cut for like 4 months, and then I'll do hypertrophy training with the idea to main gain for 2 months, and then I'll go back and do the hypertrophy for another 4 months, and we'll just keep going back and forth until we get the weight down. But yeah, so that's kind of how I'm gonna have to go at this, because I really do need to get rid of the weight. I was helping with the move, and I was just getting out of breath, and I was like, my goodness, I was doing some cardio. Obviously, I didn't do enough cardio, and so I didn't really like it. It felt embarrassing to me to be breathing so hard, and I only did like so little work. So yeah. So again, I'm formally going to focus on the weight loss for the next 4 months. I can't do like six months or a year of trying to do a hard cut. I just can't do it. It's not in me to do it. That's just going to be a failure if I even try to do that. But I think I can commit to doing 4 months of a hard cut, where my focus is cardio and diet rather than strength training. And I think that's as far as my ego is going to let it go. After that 4 months, my ego is going to want, I got to pay the toll. And so that's when I'm going to, focus more on the hypertrophy. So when that time comes, of course, the calories are going to go up. So instead of doing like 1,700 calories, when I get back into it, I'm probably going to be doing like somewhere between 2,000 to 2,300. And I'm just going to do less cardio, and I'm going to focus more on lifting weights and increasing the weight every week instead of every other week, like what I'm going to be doing now for these next 4 months. I might not even increase the weight every other week. It might be every 3 weeks that I increase the weight. So yeah, because again, I'm not trying to knock myself out of the gym. I want to stay in the gym, so I'm not trying to make myself sore on in any way. Honestly, I'm not trying to make myself sore for these next 4 months. I'm just trying to lose the weight. So that's what it is. There's really nothing more to add to it. Again, it's really not that different from what I was doing before, except mostly just a reduction in the diet, a change in the mentality, and that's what it is. So that's what we're going to do going forward for the next 4 months. Is what I'm going to try to dedicate this to. So next 4 months, I'm not trying to make any changes to this. I may tweak the diet a little bit if if it's not working for me in one way or another. If I do make some diet changes, it will basically be to reduce the carbs and increase the protein. Those would be the only diet changes that I could think of making between now and the next 4 months. In terms of the training, I've already trained pretty much all of this. I've already done it. So I was able to recover no problem while consuming somewhere between 2,000 to 2,300 calories a day. So no problem there. I guess really the only thing that I really haven't calculated is how that 24-hour fast 32-hour fast is going to affect me. Um, Again, I'm only doing it for one day, but I don't know how that's going to affect my recovery. Hopefully the fasting will improve the recovery, but maybe not likely. But yeah, everything is pretty set. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing over these next 4 months. Hard cut time, and that is what that's it. There's nothing more. Anyway, thank you for staying with me to this point in the video. I'll catch you guys next time, and remember, stay on the path.